Several months ago, we were able to unveil a statue of Billy Graham here in the Capitol. And many of you know that Johnny Cash and Billy Graham were very close personal friends. Johnny even performed at several of Reverend Graham's crusades. And today, as you'll see in just a second, Johnny Cash and Billy Graham are two of only 3 statues here in the Capitol that are holding a Bible. I think that's symbolic, and I think it should remind us of the importance of faith in our great American life. So, without further ado, we will finally unveil this statue, and I'm going to ask Leader Jeffries, Governor Sanders, the Arkansas delegation, and the Cash family, or at least a subset of the Cash family, and Kevin Cressy to come up and join us in front of the stage.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Governor of Arkansas.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is such an amazing honor to be back in our nation's capital, to represent the great state of Arkansas and honor one of our state's best known icons, Johnny Cash. Thank you to Arkansas's congressional delegation. No offense to the rest of you, but I think we have the best in the country. And certainly a huge thank you to our congressional leadership for not only hosting us, but all you do for our great country. As I stand here and look out in the crowd, We see plenty of friendly faces, many who had the opportunity to be here last spring when we unveiled Daisy Bates' statue. And I'm glad that we're here again today to continue Arkansas's great story. Many of you probably know that I grew up in politics, but what you may not know is that I also grew up in a musical family. Unfortunately, none of that was passed down. But in our family, and to just about every other musical family in the South, after God and country came Johnny Cash. Even more than his songs, it's the image of the man that I remember, the slicked back hair of his early albums, and the seasoned look in his later years. Perhaps the most iconic, the pictures of Cash at San Quentin and Folsom prisons. Not long ago, my husband and I had the opportunity to host another Arkansas musician, Zach Williams, at the Arkansas Governor's Mansion. Zach shares some biographical notes with Cash. He too was raised in the Arkansas Delta. He too got his start in rock music before falling into drugs and alcohol. He too found Jesus, quit using, and started writing Christian music. He too now performs in prisons. Zach shared his experience performing with us at that lunch, looking out in the crowd, seeing inmates with tattoos on their faces and necks. His thought wasn't, how am I different from them? It was, I could be sitting right there. Obviously, there are many differences between Zach and Johnny Cash. When Cash visited Folsom Prison, his most famous line was all Man in Black bravado. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. But Johnny Cash also used to say that he was two people. Johnny is the nice one. Cash causes all the trouble. It's not hard to imagine that he too looked out at that prison crowd and saw a version of himself staring back. Johnny Cash was open about the struggles and the triumphs in his life. He was a hymn-singing Christian, but there were also times when he wrote that he felt like a walking vision of death. But that didn't contradict his image. It was his image. Cash's first big hit was called I Walk the Line. In an era when most musicians' images were carefully curated, he was open about straddling the border between clean-cut Johnny and cast-down Cash. When so much in today's world is fake, Johnny Cash was very real. Not long ago, I had the opportunity to tour Cash's childhood home in Arkansas, where I saw the cramped rooms where his parents raised their 7 kids. I saw the fields where Johnny and his family worked, picking cotton and singing church music. It was an unspectacular childhood, the same as thousands of other kids in thousands of other little farmhouses all across the Delta. But it's what makes Johnny Cash so special. Millions of Americans could look at him, look at his career, look at his success, and still say, he is one of us. Johnny Cash walked the line. It wasn't a straight line, much more like the Arkansas River, jagged, but always moving forward. We're a nation of second chances, of constant reinvention, of continuous redemption, where a singer can start in the cotton fields and eventually perform in stadiums, where a Christian baptized in the Tyronza River can headline a Billy Graham crusade, where a man can defeat his own demons and become a vessel for the Holy Spirit. Johnny Cash was an ordinary man and a superstar all in one. It's a story that could only happen in America, and it's a story that Arkansas, the land of pioneers and patriots, is proud to tell. Thank you to all of you who made this statue and this story possible, to the incredible Cash family for showing up and allowing us to be part of this story and honor this great legend. To Kevin Cressy, who did such an amazing job pulling it all together and without words, telling an absolutely powerful and beautiful story. We are so thankful to share in this special day. May God bless Johnny Cash. May God bless the great state of Arkansas, and may God bless our incredible country. Thank you so much.